to a new video. I have not had the chance to sit down and film any videos in quite a while. I am currently doing a reading vlog, which will probably go up after this, I don't know yet, which I'm excited I have having time to do that. And at this point in time, it looks like I'm home for the summer now. I don't know for sure, but that's kind of what it's looking like. So today I had the idea for a fun little video. I've seen so many people doing videos with this like tier maker thing, ranking books that they've read. And then I also today watched a video recommending romance books. So I thought I would take those two ideas and combine them. So I am going to be ranking on this website all of the romance books that I have read. For the most part, they are adult contemporary, a few young adult, and there's one historical romance, but for the most part they're all contemporary. I didn't include fantasy or anything, and this is basically all the romance I have read when it comes to not fantasy. There's some stuff I read before this. I just scrolled back on my Goodreads and stopped at 30, but I'm very excited to do this. I have my laptop open and I have that all set up. And so the sections I have, the top best is God tier, the second one is loved it, the third one is somewhere in the middle, the fourth one is hated it, and the fifth one is I don't remember it, which I have a feeling too many books are going to go in that section because I'm not great at remembering books after it's been a couple years. So let's go ahead and get started. Oh, the first book is one I actually just read, and that is Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating by Christina Lauren. I really enjoyed this book. I don't think it's quite gonna make it to the God tier, but it was definitely a loved it. Next is another recent read, and that is Faker by Sarah Smith. That one was so entertaining. I loved it a lot. It was different than other books I've read, just setting wise, and I really enjoyed it. I'm kind of tempted to put it, I think it's gonna go in the God tier. I really liked it, and I don't think many people know about it, so like if you like The Hating Game, you will like Faker by Sarah Smith. Next is Finding Fraser by Casey Dyer. I really enjoyed this one. I think it does focus a little bit more on the character arc of the girl rather than the romance. Even though she is going to Scotland to find love, it doesn't pick up with that until towards the end, so I think it's gonna have to go somewhere in the middle. Next is We Met in December by Rosie Curtis, and I read this in December, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember it. I don't remember what it was about. I know that one of the main characters was a nurse, and that's all I can tell you about it. Next is A Princess in Theory by Alyssa Cole, which I did enjoy, but I had wanted to like it more. So, I don't know, it's not quite, I guess it's somewhere in the middle. I didn't love it, or I'm not even really sure I liked it, but I didn't hate it. Like, there was no reason for me to hate it. Then there is Can You Keep a Secret by Sophie Kinsella, which, again, I read this pretty recently, and I don't remember it. So, I guess it's going in that one. Next is The Right Swipe by Alicia Ray. I did really enjoy this one. It had some pretty good chemistry between the main characters, but it also, I think, focused a little bit too much on the plot, which is fine. I don't mind plot, but this plot was boring, so I didn't really care about it, so it's gonna go somewhere in the middle. Then there is The Bride Test by Helen Hong, which I really enjoyed. I really love her writing, and I think I'm gonna put that one in loved it. Then everyone's favorite talked about book is Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston, and it took me a while to get into this book, but I ended up really, really loving it, so much so I think it's gonna go in the God tier. Next is my favorite YA romance book, and that is Autobiography by Christina Lauren, so I think you can guess where it is going to go, at the very top in the God tier. I think Christina and Lauren capture young romance and the struggle between family and love and religion and everything so well, and I love it. I've read it twice. I'll probably read it again sometime. It's fantastic. Then there is Off Base by Annabeth Albert, which I think is just gonna go somewhere in the middle because like I remember it and I remember liking it, but I don't remember anything very specific that stands out. Then there is Something About Sweetie, which I really, really loved. I I mean, obviously it's a bit lighter because it is a YA book, but the way that this author writes romance is just so sweet. I love the way she represents these teenagers and how they interact, and it's so real, and I love it. So that one is going to go in loved it. The next one is The Sun is Also a Star by Nicola Yoon, which I did like. I don't mind insta love at all, and I liked the story behind it with the her getting deported and everything, but I think it's just gonna have to go somewhere in the middle because it's not enough to like stand out in my head as a favorite. The next one is 99% Mine by Sally Thorne. Now Sally Thorne is one of my favorite romance authors, if not the favorite romance author. She'd probably be my favorite if she had more books at this point, but that one is probably gonna have to go somewhere in the middle. I think whatever this book was gonna be, I don't know how it was gonna live up to The Hating Game, so I don't think it's gonna be a best one for me, but I'm still gonna read everything she puts out. The next one is The Highland Guardian by Amy Jaracki, and this is the one historical I have. And this one was actually really surprising in that I didn't hate it. I picked it up completely as a joke because there's a shirtless guy on the cover and I'm like, this is gonna be stupid, historical, like Regency romance, that kind of thing. But it had a lot of substance to it, surprisingly, and the female main character was actually super badass. So I'm gonna put it somewhere in the middle just because it's not like a mind-blowing book, but I actually enjoyed it. Next is The Kiss Quotient by Helen Hong, and that one's going straight to the God tier because I loved it. It is such an entertaining book. I love the own voices. I love the setting of it and like the premise that he is a male escort and she hires him to teach her how to like be in a relationship, and it was so entertaining and it would make a great movie. I just think it would be fantastic. The next one is Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren, which I love Christina Lauren, but I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember this one. I remember one scene from it and I didn't like that scene, so I'm just gonna have to put it in don't remember. The next one is History Is All You Left Me by Adam Silvera, which is gonna have to go and hated it. I think I actually gave it a 3 stars when I read it and like rated it on Goodreads, but I don't know, I didn't like it. The characters were terrible to read. I didn't like them, and there was just too much struggle and angst, and yeah, I didn't really like it. Another one I did not like is Geekerella. I just didn't like it. I like the idea of a retelling. I'm totally on board for that. But this one, you have to make the retelling relevant to present day, like, and make it realistic, and she did not. I liked the commentary on what a fandom can be for the people who love that show, which is theirs was like Star Trek but not Star Trek, and I liked that, but I didn't like the love interest, I didn't like the main character, I didn't understand the villains, like I just was not a fan. Next is another one of my absolute favorites, and that is The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. That is in the God tier. I love it so much. That's probably one of the first romance books I read, like adult romance books other than Sophie Kinsella books, so I really love that one, and I cannot wait for that movie. It's gonna be great. The casting is fantastic. I will wait, it's probably gonna be years from now, but I will be there and I will see that movie. I'm so excited. And there is When Dimple Met Rishi, which is another very cute YA contemporary romance, and I really liked it. It's gonna go and loved it because I think the way she wrote this relationship, one, it was kind of a hate to love thing, which I love, and then I think she wrote, the thing that stands out the most to me in this book is her consent scene. I just think it was a really cool thing to put in a book with teenagers and make it super clear, and also it was just really cute and the relationship was really cute. Next is You Know Me Well by a cast of authors. I listened to this as an audiobook, I don't remember when, and I remember not a single thing about it, so it's going in don't remember it. I don't know what it was about. I don't remember liking it. I think I gave it like a 2 stars. So I guess it's not that big of a deal that I completely forgot about it. Next is The Geography of You and Me, and I read this 2 or 3 years ago now, so I don't really remember what it was about. I think there might have been a wedding in Paris or London or something, and they traveled on airplanes. I don't remember. It was a while ago. Then one that I think I read like within that same week, because I was just on this like contemporary romance binge, was The Start of You and Me by Emery Lord, and that's gonna have to go in the don't remember it either, because I can't tell you at all what that was about. I think there might have been a death in it. That's all I remember. I don't know anything about it. Then one of my favorite YA contemporaries is To All the Boys I Loved Before by Jenny Han. That is gonna have to go, I don't know, loved it or God tier. I think it's gonna go in God tier just because it is so sweet and makes my heart so happy, and it's one that I love the whole series and it's just a fun one. Plus the recipes alone in the back of the first book make it totally worth it. Next, another one by Jennifer E. Smith is The Statistical Probability of Love at First Sight. I read this around the same time as the other one and I remember nothing, so it's going in don't remember it. I think they got stuck in an elevator, but I could be making that up, I don't know. Next is a classic, Bridget Jones' Diary by Helen Felding. That one's going straight up to the God tier. While I love the movie more than I love the book, I still love them both, and you can't take Mr. Darcy from me, so. Next, another one of my favorites is The Inexplicable Logic of My Life, and that one is going to go in loved it. That one is a really good book, and you know what? It's not even a romance, is it? It's not. I just thought it was a romance because his other book is a romance. We're just, you know, I put it in loved it. We're just going to ignore it. Next one is The Rosie Project by Graham Simpson. I really enjoyed that one. I don't think I loved it, but I didn't hate it, so it's going to go somewhere in the middle. Lastly is Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe, which is going straight to God tier because that is one of my favorite books of all time, and the romance is beautiful, and it's not the forefront of the story, but it really drives the emotional like arcs for both of the characters, so I really love that one. So yeah, that is my chart. I will insert a picture so you can see it better. That was fun. There's not a lot of romance books I hate. I'm usually pretty nice about it. If I liked it and I enjoyed it, nothing else really matters to me, like how well it was written or blah blah blah. It just matters if I enjoy it as I'm reading it. So yeah, that was fun. I hope you enjoyed this little video. I hope it distracted you for a couple minutes among all the crazy in the world. Also, I'm sorry my setup is not great. I don't have my ring light, so I can't set up wherever I want. I'm on my like vanity desk. My ring light is in my apartment. I am at home. I don't know when I'm going back to my apartment to get stuff, so I am gonna go make dinner and read, and I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it distracted you and made you smile, and in the comments let me know what your favorite romance book is, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!